we are here, totally had a great lunch after 2 days in the meeting, and me personally like the food because a lot of vegetable. Okay, as chair, our brother Edgar said that I will explain a little bit about the situation after we facing the pandemic, that in airport worker, also in Asia Pacific, and also like what Rhea just presented this morning about sub-region, this morning, and about sub-region that we have in Southeast Asia. We have 5 countries, but before explain about that, I will start with the situation that happened, especially in a country, in Indonesia, and also in other countries. So issue that happened, I think around the world we have a common problem and common issue during the pandemic, and also after pandemic, and until now. The impact of the pandemic for everybody or every worker in the world is they get a laid off, salary deduction, also union busting, and something that really bad happened with the cabin crew when they facing the disruptive passengers, and also the restriction on the use of the facility for the airport worker in Thailand, that they cannot use the toilet during the lunch break, and the unclear working contract for the migrant crew and contract worker, especially in Indonesia, is a cleaner, airport cleaner. That's what had happened, and also still going on until now. And from that situation that we have, all of us in Indonesia, we make one conclusion, that we must sit together and discuss between the union led by the federation, Indonesian Airport Worker Federation. What is the action that we take is in order to supporting each other, we make a group discussion, and we talk about the problem solving and gathering for each week. If we can do that every 2 times a week, this is really good for us. And campaigning in social media. From what we did in Indonesia, and then we come to the other country, which is that Rhea mentioned this morning, 5 countries in Southeast Asia that established right now: Malaysia, Thailand, Philippines, Cambodia, and Indonesia. Each country has their own problem, their own issue. For example, in Malaysia, we have our brother Ismail as a union leader. He fought with the company in the court. And he said that, and we just get information that he won in the court, and until now they're still fighting with the other issue in their union, in the company, Malaysia Airlines. In Thailand, we have our brothers and sisters who still fight with the situation, which is they are now entering to establish the CBA in their union with the company, especially for the aviation security worker. In Philippines, negotiation about the union issue has not completed, and CBA is still unclear. And in Cambodia, the government chased the company from China, and the negotiation hasn't been done with the worker. And in my country, in Indonesia, we still have our member, 2 unions who still fight with the company about the laid off and salary and the unclear contract for the worker. Another union still negotiate for renewing the contract, and also cabin crew in Garuda Group, they still prepare for the CBA negotiation. All these things become the problem because until now the company never give good willing to talk and sit with them. And then we, as I just mentioned this before lunch, that we have Indonesian Cabin Crew Association. They are doing a presentation for the event and discuss about the migrant and domestic issue. Cabin crew, that what we discuss, really important that we always mention for the cabin crew is cabin crew should understand the contract they sign must be clear and don't be dazzled by fake offers that look like mental trap. need to discuss with the government about the clear rule for the migrant crew. And this is really important for all of us to implement it for the association. And then, what is the discussion in civil aviation? We have to make the solution that we need to share with the group, and how to negotiate with the company and the government, and how the worker facing the real issue, because sometimes they do not understand which one the real issue, which one the issue that created by someone who really created by the company, who want to ruin the union. And from there, we make a conclusion that from Asia Pacific, from Southeast Asia region, that we have 5 countries. We have a 3 conclusion that organizing workers across occupation, cabin crew, ground handling, pilot, to build power is essential for trying to get airports and governments and airlines to do things, especially in Asia Pacific region where tripartite institutions do not exist very much. The second is, one aim we have is to get the airport authority to convene a safe airport forum for workers from all companies at the airport, so we can discuss and co-regulate the health and safety practices. We are trying now especially with the airport management union, even though they are a yellow union, and make sure all employers, even the worst, have to do the meeting. The third and the last is organized workers have to struggle to create the institution that can regulate the workplace, because in AP, the institutions are generally weak. So we must organize to strengthen our collective bargaining, our airport governance, and our national policy outcomes. I think from my side, that in Asia Pacific, maybe it's different with other regions, but nowadays the situation that we are facing is like that, and we try to find the way out, which is good for all the airport workers. I think that's what I want to discuss. Chair, thank you.
Gracias, Jackie.